Don't ask me about the icon. I'm just a pirate wench now. All will become clear when the great tentacle god himself uploads his video. Before I begin the video, the example I'm using is a person who likes to shield themselves with the words harassment and cyberbullying. I will be going into the definitions of these and why this video is neither of those things. So here is the massive disclaimer should they or their fans decide to come for it. I don't script my videos often. I've scripted this one, I have read through it, and I've compared it to the legal terms which you love to throw around. Nothing in this video is anything comparable to harassment or cyberbullying. While this isn't my job and I make no money off of it, I will take false community strikes seriously. I am a stubborn little shit and I will not have my free speech encroached upon. And I don't make idle threats. Since the dawn of time, human beings have gossiped and observed drama. It's something we do. It's something every human does and will continue to do. Whenever I hear someone say, "I hate drama," I can instantly tell they are either lying to their audience or they are lying to themselves. In my video wherein I used my extraordinary detective skills to quickly determine where the mysterious live streams went, I brought up a word, Schadenfreude. I won't go over it again, but this is a German phrase that has been applied in psychology to mean malicious joy. Entertainment or satisfaction from seeing the troubles of others as a means of evolutionary survival. We do this on a daily basis with gossip and talking about drama. Some YouTubers, however, have denounced these forums, saying that they discuss their personal affairs to be hateful, to harass, and to bully. Let's dig into this further. I'm going to use BeckieJBrown, formerly known as Beckie0, as an example. She constantly refutes such forums as harassment and bullying, most frequently referring to the gossip site Guru Gossiper. How do we know that Guru Gossiper is the site that she's referring to? She has tweeted and blocked people on Twitter who happen to have the same or similar usernames to those on the site, whether they're the same people or not. I've blocked out the username and picture of this fan in question, as well as the suspected username, for the privacy of those people. However, the tweets read as follows. What are you talking about? I've been a fan since 2013. I don't have any other accounts. Who is blank? I don't know what you are talking about or recognise the name. Guess you're confusing me with somebody else. I don't even know what you're referring to. Guess being a fan of yours counts for nothing when you get paranoid and confuse me with somebody else. I happen to be a member of the thread. I make no bones about it. I am, and I have posted, and I've been as fair as possible. But even I, because I happen to be the most recent poster on one of those threads, was contacted by another person who said, "I was blocked by Beckie, I'm really confused, I don't know what's going on, I was considering becoming a patron." She's even reached out on Twitter to communicate with members of the forum. Here's one example. Beckie, whilst your team and you have no respect for my life, I ask you to have respect for the lives, past/alive, of my family. You have no right to degrade and analyse someone's life as you do, let alone abuse the death of a recently passed loved one for entertainment. And the member replies, I have said nothing about your family and I speak on behalf of no one but me, so don't come at me. If you want to speak to the person who wrote a comment which is deemed distasteful by everyone, you should go on Guru Gossip yourself and do so. I ain't your messenger. When you were mourning, the majority of GG stood by you. Most of the comments on GG aren't even negative. You're being analysed, go figure, like anyone who puts themselves on a public platform. Don't make it seem like people are coming at you because everyone found that comment unacceptable. I don't know what comment they're referring to. However, I can confirm that most of Guru Gossip, most of their work is positive. What they're doing is critiquing and giving advice, and they can't do that to Becky because they're blocked. I can't ask Becky her side of the story because I'm blocked. The problem is that when she reaches out to people from that site, she negates any claim of harassment. Harassment isn't actually legally defined in the UK. What the law says is as follows. Harassment covers the offences under Section 2 of the Protection from Harassment Act 1997 as amended, PHA, and putting people in fear of violence offences under Section 4 of the PHA. What most judges do to get around this is use the rule that it must include repeated attempts to impose unwanted communications and contact upon a victim. Sites like GG are third-party formats that do not have a direct line of communication with the subject of discussion. It cannot be considered harassment if a person posts about you on a forum that you have no control over, nor does it constitute harassment if you actively reach out to the people you believe are harassing you. As for bullying, I'm going to repeat the same thing that I said about Chantal. The definition of bullying is when an individual or group with more power repeatedly and intentionally cause hurt or harm to another person or a group of people who feel helpless to respond. Becky has actually hidden her subscriber count from her channel. Go figure on why that is, but she has 51k on Twitter and 30k on Instagram. So does Becky really have a helplessness to respond and no power? Am I a bully for talking about this with my 100 subs? Probably in her eyes. I have read all of the Guru Gossip threads for my research in this video. Again, 12 threads, 41 pages per thread. 80% of it is legitimate criticism from people you have blocked. The rest is name-calling out of frustration for the things that you do, but you've accused these people of wishing harm on you and doxing you when there is not a single instance of this happening, not a single one. And if you happen to see this video and you want to call me a bully, I will happily screenshot the collection of all of my posts on you and demonstrate that I have not said anything that could be considered bullying. Even if I did have the power over you, which I do not, there's nothing in there that would cause you harm or intimidate you. Becky is similar to Amber Lynn and Chantal in the regard that she believes people who criticise her are somehow unhappy or jealous or only go after her because she's successful. Also, I have blocked out the name of the person that she's using, but she does use the girl's first name in the tweet as well as her username. I'm not 100% sure, but Becky has been accused of doxing, and I believe that this is an alleged case of it because allegedly her first name was not used on that platform. She says, blank, you've been harassing me for several years despite my blocking/banning you. One day I hope that you will find something in your life that enables you to feel happy. Something that doesn't require harassing others into misery for entertainment. I feel truly sorry for you and the others who have liked your tweets tonight, who have also caused me intensive pain. I do not know you, have not known you, do not wish to know you. You have a hatred for me that stems from jealousy. One day, you'll overcome it. That is possibly one of the most condescending, patronising, fake tweets I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's also completely false. It's completely wrong. A weak straw man argument based on assumptions and ego. I myself am perfectly happy with my life, financially, romantically, career and friend and family wise. It's quite nice to be honest. And when somebody comes to me with a grievance or concern, I don't need to rely on ignoring them or telling them that there's something wrong with them and not me. If all the criticisms in the world rested upon those giving them being unhappy, every single person in the world would be constantly depressed and miserable. However, Becky, I wonder if your actual problem with these sites aren't that the people are jealous and hateful and they're bullying you. Perhaps it's that they exposed you for allegedly having a relationship with a married man while you were 19 years old. Allegedly, while you were also in New York, where he happens to live. And, this is just all alleged. Perhaps this is really where your distaste for them comes from, because they exposed that relationship, allegedly. Before Becky jumps to another word that she likes, slander, I might have to educate her on that meaning. Slander is knowingly making false statements about a person's with the intent to harm their reputation, and I have no doubt she would consider this video slander, but unfortunately for her it's not. Every crime needs an actus reus, an action, and a menus reus, intent. You cannot prove my intent because I'm giving evidence which I have researched fully and believe that I'm giving in good faith. My audience aren't idiots, they won't take me at my word. They subscribe to me because they know that I'm well versed on what I speak. 3 years of psychology, 2 years of criminal justice. I know what I'm talking about. Harassment, slander, and bullying all require a menus reus, the intent. Do you have any idea how hard it is to prove intent in a court of law? It's why trials will go on for years. It's why a lot of murder trials can have the evidence the person did the actus reus, but did they have the menus reus? Was this murder or was it manslaughter? Because I'm using evidence to back up my claims and things that I perceive to be evidence, it's clear my intent is not to slander, it is truth-giving. And should the evidence I have prove to be false, I still had the menus reus, the intent to show it, because I believed it was valid. Becky, however, has committed slander. She has accused individuals of wishing her harm, making fun of deceased family members, stalking, and other things which they have not done, and framing Guru Gossiper as a hate site is active defamation towards those who created the site, because in their terms and conditions they do have rules against bullying, the sharing of personal information, and so on. You putting this out there and referring to GG as a hate site damages the reputation of the site owners, and because they host ads on their site, you're also damaging their revenue by taking away people who may use the site. Something I personally wouldn't mess with when it comes to a company is their profit. I also want to point out there is a direct correlation with a YouTuber's problematic behaviour and the number of posts made about them. I started reading Guru Gossip in my spare time at uni when I was bored because I was curious about it. And while reading threads about Becky, I noticed that when she hadn't done anything wrong, they stopped. And they started up again immediately when she did. Perhaps, Becky, you may want to reflect inwards as to why, aside from a great jealousy and misery, this is. I would have a great deal more respect for Becky if she actually admitted to reading the site, or she decided to directly refute any claims made on that site herself. Emma Blackery has a thread about her, and she gained a lot of respect from the users there because she came on under her own name and she clarified a few things, and she took a lot of what they had to say in. Whether you like Emma or not, I am a fan personally. I can still see some of the criticisms that were being made, and at least she came on and she was direct about it and she admitted to it. She didn't sit there and say that she was being bullied or slandered. She actually came on, she stood up, she listened, she gave back, and she went away again. I would have a lot more respect if she did that. I also want to refute a few potential arguments that also may come up. She's used, no, I don't show my face. No, it's not because I'm insecure. It's because it's a lot more convenient. No, I'm not a coward. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of the backlash I might receive. Yes, I'm perfectly happy in my life. No, I'm not jealous of you in the slightest. In fact, seeing the life that you lead where you're constantly moaning about pain and being bullied, as it were, I think I would prefer my life. Thank you very much. And I hope this clarifies that sites like Guru Gossip, at least I can speak for that one because I have read it, they're not necessarily hate sites. You actually might want to properly read it before coming to that conclusion. We know you have read it, or you've heard of it, or you get whispers about it. That's not legitimate information if you are only getting feedback from what others have seen and how they've interpreted it. You should probably look at it yourself, or if you look at it and you still believe that it's bullying, which it is not, as I have already proven, then don't read it at all. But please stop referring to the people in that thread as harassers, doxers, stalkers. I suppose I'm a stalker for looking at this information, and that makes every single researcher and news article journalist a stalker in their own right. And in that case, I also have stalked Sigmund Freud, Milgram, a great number of psychologists on my university papers. I have stalked them all. I must be awful. And now I'm actually going to talk to the people I give a crap about, which would be you guys. I hope this video was interesting. The only reason I bothered to make it is because years and years of watching people and this site be referred to as a hate site is a form of slander and defamation, and I highly dislike it. I've posted quite a few times on there. I haven't really checked it in a few months up until now when I wanted to make this video. So I guess that's just what fueled me, Becky herself, which is ironic because every time she calls out a harasser or bully, more people find the site. Anyhow, I will be coming out with another Anne Boleyn related video. As I mentioned before, a certain tentacled lord must upload his first, and I hope you guys will enjoy that. Live stream tomorrow. It will be at 8 PM London time. I will be re-recording the slam poem for quality purposes and coming out with a couple more videos. So do not fear, we will go back to the feeders. Have no worries. And I hope to see you in the next video.